Hey everyone, I'm Ultimate456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to Danganronpa 1, 2, Reload. Yes, we are going to finally play the Danganronpa series, and it has been a long time coming, but yeah, this should be really fun. So, surprise! Finally, something that I've played like a long time ago, and now I get to play it for you guys. So I'm just going to jump in here. Danganronpa 1 2 Reload includes both of the first games, Trigger Happy Havoc and Goodbye Despair. We're going to be playing Trigger Happy Havoc, because that's the first one. So let's jump straight in here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is just change the... So press the options button or X and go into the options and just go straight to the background music. Just lower that a little bit. Sound effects can stay about here. Voice is good. Reticle speed. Actually, I want reticle speed all the way. Movement bob. Basically, when you walk around the game, it kind of like bobs up and down as if you're like an actual human walking. Although it's hard to notice that if you just when you're walking, you have to like purposely go, oh yeah, that happens. Okay, so before we start the game, wait, did that work? Let me just see. Yes, alright, so fingers crossed this is the right volume. It might even be a bit too low, but I would rather have it too low at the moment because it's quite loud in my ear and I don't know how to change that, so I'm just going to have to do it like that. Anyway, I'll check after this first episode to see how it turns out, and fingers crossed it turns out alright. Alright, so there's a few things I want to quickly say before we start. First of all, Danganronpa, if you don't know what it is, you're in for a treat. It's a thrilling visual novel story-based game with fun gameplay elements thrown in here and there as you play. There's a lot of gameplay stuff that happens. It's like sporadically spread out through the game, but it's really good. And also at the same time, it's like kind of in certain chunks, but I really enjoy it. I'm glad that I can finally do this game for you guys because this is where the idea for the Ultimates came up, and you're going to see that pretty much as soon as we start, what that means. Next thing I can't pass up is I want to say a big thank you to I Rise Against You, who reminded me to do this game in the comments section of the previous update video that I did, because I had done all the Soulsborne series, including Sekiro, so all of that was done, and it seemed like the perfect time to finally do this game. Especially after it had been it's probably been getting close to 5 years since I played this for the first time, so I think it's perfect. And of course, the other person that I need to thank is my good friend Chris the Stampeder, who suggested this game to me when I mentioned the Nonary games, I think in my 100 subscriber special, and eventually I got the opportunity to play it on the Vita, and I never looked back. This is an amazing game. For people who've played it before, hopefully you will enjoy reliving it. For people who've never seen it before, hopefully you guys will enjoy watching it as well. So that's really good, and please stick around because this is an amazing game. Another thing to note, the Danganronpa 1 2 Reload only has 1 platinum for both games. I don't know why they chose to do that. They could have just made the same trophy list for both games and have 2 platinums, but they chose 1 platinum. You know, it's going to be kind of annoying because now I'm going to be saying let's platinum Danganronpa 1 2 Reload, but I'm not going to get the platinum until my idea is probably to do this one at the beginning of this year, and then to do the second one at the beginning of next year, and then probably the third one at the beginning of the year after that. So I think having a year in between is like a good amount of time. That's kind of like what I'm planning to do. We'll see how that turns out. And finally, or 2 more things to say. I don't know how I did it, but I'm recording this on the 19th of January, but if you're watching it as soon as it comes out, it's my birthday in Australia, which was on the 22nd of January. If you're in America, it'll probably take the 21st. But and my mother tells me that I was born at around 3 o'clock. So if you're watching this immediately as it's coming out, I'm basically exactly 30, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I don't know how that happened. I mean, I couldn't possibly plan something like that, but I'm glad that it worked out that way. And then finally, the last thing to say before we get started is this is a mature rated game. There's pretty like strong themes in here, at least in my opinion. It can get quite full on. So if you're like underage, I would recommend probably not watching this. But you know, if you're watching my content, maybe you're like fairly mature anyway, because you know, I don't do like Fortnite and stuff like that. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's get started. New game. I'm going to try and read as much as I can. I've never actually played the game in Japanese, but I have been practicing it a bit in Japanese. I I actually prefer the English in this case. Like, I do like a lot of Japanese like voices, but I prefer the English voices in this game. They're really, really solid. And also the localization, as in the translation from Japanese to English, is phenomenal in this game. It's very, very well written, with very minor like spelling mistakes or anything like that. We're going to play on logic and action difficulty mean, because why not? And also I think there's a trophy related to it. You'll have to bear with me because I'm like 99% sure I'll get I'll complete everything that this game has, but I've got to pay attention to stuff that I've missed. At the time of getting to, at the time of recording, I've only had time to play the first chapter, but I don't think the first chapter has anything that's to do with anything missable, so we should be okay. And mean is like, at least to do with the first chapter is not difficult. So yeah, if you've never seen this, strap yourselves in, here we go. Start with the cutscene. I'm just going to be quiet for this. Okay, so that teddy bear just straight up killed the dude. Trigger Happy Havoc. Okay, just before we start, I want to say it's funny how this works out. I was watching a music program yesterday. So today's Sunday. I was watching a music program on Saturday, and they were showing video clips of songs. They usually have a theme. And they were showing the song Fall Out Boy, America's Sweethearts, and I just realized how much the video clip for that kind of has similar art to what happened there in that scene. So yeah, interesting how that worked out. Alright, the massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling... Yeah, the massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Geez, first sentence and already screwed up. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. A lot of reading in this game, by the way. There are two things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me.
Before we go any farther, I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Makoto Naegi.
As you can see, I'm nothing but a hopelessly average high school student. Average on the outside, average on the inside. I really don't have much going for me when it comes to grades, special abilities, even personality. I mean, yeah, I have hobbies and stuff I like to do, but it's not like I'm psychic or mutant or whatever. Like, if you ask me what my favorite song was, or my favorite movie or TV show, that'll just be whatever's most popular at that particular moment. Even among the average, I'm completely average, so I can't even say I'm your everyday hero type. That's just who I am. Anyway, I figure it's always good to introduce yourself right off the bat. But you know, if I have any kind of strong point, so to speak, I'd say I'm a little more gung-ho than other people. I mean, look at me. I'm completely ordinary, but still, here I am, standing in front of the anything but ordinary Hope's Peak Academy. I still can't believe I'm standing here. I wonder if someone like me can survive in a place like this. Also to note, the text in white is Makoto speaking, and the text in blue is him thinking. So keep that in mind. It's got this overwhelming presence, like it's trying to swallow me whole. But it's no wonder I would feel that way. What you have to understand is, well, let me just tell you about the preparation I did last night to get ready for today. Hope's Peak only invites those students who are the truly elite in their field. It's such a popular topic, there are threads online dedicated to talking about the school's attendees. So to prepare, I looked up some of those threads, and all I saw was talk about ultimate students, who were way beyond your average high schooler. For example, one incoming student is the ultimate pop sensation. I guess she's a high school girl who's also the lead singer for a pop group famous all over the world. There's also the ultimate baseball star. He was the cleanup hitter for the national high school champs. Pro teams already have their eyes on him. Then there's the ultimate fashionista. She's been on the cover of tons of fashion magazines. She's what every high school girl wants to be. Oh, and they mentioned the ultimate biker gang leader too. The scary thing is, he's the de facto leader of every bike gang in Japan. Gangs everywhere love the guy. On top of that, there's the ultimate martial artist, the ultimate fanfic creator, the ultimate gambler, the ultimate swimming pro, the ultimate programmer, the ultimate clairvoyant, and then some. Reading that made me realize how totally powerless I was. It was the country's finest, top to bottom. I felt like a tame little house cat who'd wandered into a pride of lions. Still, there was something I couldn't stop thinking about. You see, there were a few students who I couldn't find any info on, no matter how much I looked. With all those ultimate students, I'm the only one without any kind of worthwhile talent. But then, what about those other new students who didn't seem to pop up anywhere? Could they be just average students like me without any talent or anything? That thought was kind of encouraging. I mean, I know I don't have much in the way of personality, but beyond that, there's an even bigger issue. How did such an unbelievably average student like me get picked up to come to this ultimate high school? I mean, I guess there is a reason. You just have to take one glance at the acceptance letter they sent me to see why. We recently held a lottery to select one ordinary student to attend our school. As a result, you have been selected, and we invite you to join us as the ultimate lucky student. Yeah, so Makoto's ultimate talent is that he's lucky. They spelled it out plain as day. I got invited by pure luck. Honestly, I probably would have been better off just declining their offer, but after hearing how graduating was a guarantee for success later in life, I just couldn't say no. But then, actually standing there in front of the school, I started to feel lost, like I didn't belong there. I could feel myself losing my nerve. But still, I can't just stand here in the front of the gate forever. Frozen in place, murmuring to myself, I looked down at the acceptance letter clutched in my hand. It said there'd be a meeting for all incoming students in the main hall at 8 AM. The meeting still isn't for a little while, but I should probably just head in. Yeah, let's do this. I gathered up all my determination and tried to act like I'd done this a million times before, and I took my first step towards the main hall. This is where we're supposed to meet, right? I guess I'm the first one here. There's a really elegant clock over in the corner. It says it's 7:10 AM. The meeting doesn't start until 8 o'clock, so there's still a full 50 minutes left. It makes sense nobody else would be here yet. I was so wound up I got here way too early. I have plenty of time before the meeting. Just standing around waiting isn't exactly... Did I read that right? I don't know. I should take a look around the school. Maybe that'll help me calm down, I think. I don't know if... Yeah. Usually, so you can press because I'm playing on the PS4, you can press the touchpad to see the transcript of like what you've missed, but for some reason you can't do it until you're a little ways into the game. I should take a look around the school. Maybe that'll help me calm down a little. I am a student here now, so there shouldn't be any problem with me having a look around, right? It'll help me kill some time, if nothing else. Trying to play it cool, I took my first step into Hope's Peak Academy. It was also my first step towards starting a new life at a new school. At least, that's what I was hoping for. What the? But the instant I took that first step forward, my view became warped, twisted. It was like some kind of delusion, melting away and mixing together into something else. Spinning, mixing, melting away, then spinning again. And the next moment, everything went black. That was how it all began. And how life, as I knew knew it came to an end. At that point, I should have realized the reason I was brought to Hope's Peak Academy wasn't because I had ultimate good luck. It was so I could experience ultimate despair. So pretty quickly, the game tells you quite a few things. There's a school, it's called Hope's Peak Academy. Yes, let's save. There's a school, it's very quick to save, by the way. There's a school called Hope's Peak Academy. Only ultimate students can attend. We get there as the ultimate lucky student because we got invited by pure luck. And then as soon as we start getting there, things start to happen. Ellipsis, ellipsis, ellipsis. NNG. There's Mr. Makoto, sleepyhead. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. Also, I'll be trying to do some voices as I go. I haven't actually heard the English voices for quite a while, so I'll try and match it up if I can, but I'm obviously going to speak in my regular voices as much as possible as well to give myself a break. I'm not a voice actor, so yeah. My body feels heavy. It's pretty normal for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? This isn't a classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Also, I forgot to mention there's quite a bit of swearing in this game as well. And I've been telling myself as to whether I'm going to be swearing or not. I think I'm going to try and not. So I'll probably be censoring myself as I come to swear words. But there's like a lot in certain characters and stuff like that. So I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see what happens. Welcome to Hope's Peak Academy. Firstly, we'd like to explain the basic controls. It's a good idea. You can use the left stick to adjust your aim. If you aim at an object you can interact with, you can press the X button. And presto, you'll investigate that object. Use the directional buttons or the L1 and R1 buttons to adjust your viewpoint. Why don't you try looking around the classroom? Alright, so here's what we have to do. We've just got to examine everything and then the pamphlet last, and then we go from there. Alright, so what the hell is this? What the heck? In any normal classroom, that's where a window should be, but it looks like some kind of metal plate has been bolted over it. And if I were to knock on it, conk, conk. Yep, definitely metal, thick too, very solid. Wait, that's not what matters here. More importantly, why are there metal plates over the windows? Look at these, look at this design as well. It's like, how is, so they've bolted it from the other side and then screwed the nut on this side. It's very strange. What's this? Looks like a camera of some kind. Is that a surveillance camera? It's a dangerous world we live in. I guess they have these to keep weirdos from just wandering in. This is not the sign that tells you rule number 1 of karate, which is, what is it? Karate is for self-defense only, and then rule number 2 is first learn rule number 1. How brilliant is that? Jeez, I can't believe it's already 8 o'clock. It was just after 7 when I first got here. Has it really been almost an hour since then? There's a TV. The school is funded by the national government. No, the school is funded by the national government, so I guess it's not that weird to have TVs in here. Something feels off. I wonder what it is. And then door. I think I've done this right. I better look around the classroom a little more before I head out. Alright, so I think it's just this. That's a desk I fell asleep on. I can still see a line of drool I must have left there. I'll have to clean that up later. Hey, what's that on the desk? An orientation guide? It's some kind of cheap looking pamphlet and there's something handwritten on it. The next semester is about to start. Starting today, this school will be your entire world. And at the top it said, hey there, new kid. What the hell? Is this someone's idea of a joke? Okay, let's see. So what might have happened is, I got myself so wound up, I passed out in the main hall and then someone carried me here? If that's true, it must mean this is a classroom inside Hope's Peak. But then if that's true, that just raises more questions. This is all really strange. I mean, those metal plates covering the windows, it's like a prison or something. None of this makes any sense. I should probably head back to the main hall. It's already past the meeting time. There might be other students there now. You can leave the classroom by pressing circle. Alright, cool. So we're going to leave, but we're going to leave next time. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to try and make it 20-minute episodes. I don't know how long this is going to take. There are, I think, 6 chapters if I'm not mistaken, and they get longer and longer, so this is probably going to go for a while, but at least it gives me an opportunity to catch up on videos because I have been falling behind a little bit. But yeah, fingers crossed this goes well. So I hope you've enjoyed like this introduction. It only gets better from here, so please stick around. And for probably the most important time, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name is Ultima456. You're the Ultimates. And wait, did I say no? What's my intro again? I want to thank you very much for watching episode 1 of Let's Platinum Danganronpa 1-2 Reload. My name is Ultima456. You're the Ultimates. And I'll see you next time.